So now, starting off from where we left, we will be performing these functions with a new method. What we will be doing now is using the plus, minus, and the asterisk signs for performing these functions. For the sum, you will need to enter is equal to, and then you will start selecting the cells for which you need the sum. Once I've selected this, I will enter a plus sign, and then I will enter my next argument, that would be 94 over here, plus this. And if I press enter, I will get the sum for these three values. Now the usefulness of the bar over here is we can cross check this result by simply selecting these three numbers, and the sum over here is exactly what I am getting over here. So you can get a confirmation if you entered your arguments correctly or not. Now if I want to edit this and add one more number, I will double click and then add a plus again, select the next number, enter. Now maybe I want to subtract these two from the sum of these four. What I will do is place brackets over here, enter a minus sign, place brackets, this plus this, brackets close. So now the sum of this 4 will get subtracted by the sum of these two. Enter, and I have the answer. So you can use mathematical signs and equations and enter them in Excel by just simply entering the is equal to sign and then entering your mathematical equations to get the answers. For the product, simply you have to enter the is equal to sign, then you will select your cell, then you enter the asterisk sign which denotes the multiplication, you select your next cell, enter. So I have the product for these two. If I need to get the product of this as well, I will double click on this cell, I will enter an asterisk, select this, enter, and this function has been updated. For the average, I can simply enter is equal to brackets, and in this scenario I am taking the average of the first two numbers, so this plus this, brackets close, divided by 2, enter, and now I have the average. Functions can be used in another method by actually entering your own values instead of selecting different cells. What I may be doing over here is simply entering equals to and taking the sum of 75 and 94. Instead of selecting these cells, I will simply enter 75 plus 94 and enter. The disadvantage of this method is that you cannot easily change the values that you have entered in. You will have to double click and edit the formula. The advantage of the previous methods was that if you have to change the values in any of these cells, the formulas will get updated accordingly. So for example, the original data set was not supposed to have 975 over here, it was supposed to have 20. Now if we change this value of 20 over here and enter, you can see all the functions have been updated, all the functions which were actually linked to this cell, which were selecting this cell. So this function and this function and all these functions were selecting this cell, that's why their values have changed. This value has not, however, changed because we have manually entered the numbers and we haven't selected the cells over here. So this is a disadvantage because this will not get updated. So it's better to use cell referencing rather than inserting your own values. Now an important exam tip would be that you will always be graded for entering the correct sort of formula rather than simply giving the final answer. The final answer will only hold maybe half or maximum 1 mark. However, this entire formula will get you 2 or 3 marks. So in your exams, do not be tempted to simply give the final answer. Apply the entire formula. In this case, I could have simply selected this range and seen the sum over here 2, 8, 9. I could have entered it in the answer cell and left it like this. This cell does not show any formula, so your teacher wouldn't know if you know how to insert the proper formula or not. So the proper way of doing this in an exam is actually giving the entire formula in the cell rather than simply giving the answer. And that's it for this video.